I think it's one that's really strong. And what's great about it as an operator is that it allows us to continue to work with those same investors to save them on the taxes they would have used and to be able to continue to leverage that in the next deal.
What's been your biggest frustration with the 1031 exchange? When you guys sell, are you guys typically 1031ing to the next one? Is the whole entity have to move? Or what's kind of your strategy there to defer capital gains tax?
We like the idea of moving and using 1031. It's not a tool we've used with our investors. Most of them we've simply cashed out and moved on to the next property. But it's a tool that we're actually bringing in. We're having a lot of conversations going in with our investors with the plan to 1031 into the next deal. Most folks want to have the option, but they don't want to be required to do it. So we haven't had any frustrations because we haven't really gone down that path, but I think it's one that's really strong. And what's great about it as an operator is that it allows us to continue to work with those same investors to save them on the taxes they would have used and to be able to continue to leverage that in the next deal. And so there's no reason why an investor who doesn't need the capital return, most of our investors are quite wealthy, high income earners. They don't necessarily need the money back. They might want the option to, but most of them are going to want to invest that in the next deal. And so then they can do that in a smart tax planning way, then it's going to be to their advantage. So it's definitely something that we're looking at. We're doing it on this first deal, bringing in investors who are 1031ing. And we have had a good experience thus far. It has caused some complications. It does require some additional paperwork. It does require a lot of additional conversations with the investors and with our consultants and attorneys and everything along the way. But with the risk to reward and the benefit versus the extra time it takes, it seems like it's quite worth it, especially when you have investors with large enough gains that it makes a difference, on a deal where you're raising $16 million in equity.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when it's a big enough opportunity for you to carve out or tenant and common someone into a deal, then it can make sense. But the smaller ones can be a challenge. Very cool, Steven. I appreciate you going back and forth on some of those things because I can tell you're a higher level thinker, right? And strategy with investing. So I'm glad to have you on the show.